Christian here for Display Daily. I'm at ITSEC 2014. I'm in the Christie booth where I've just had a rundown of what they're showing here. There's actually three demos that they're showing here this year. The first one is their alignment system, which they use for automatic. It's a camera-based system for automatic alignment. That's part of their Christie twist for warp and blend. They're now going to be breaking that into kind of three components: a regular Christie twist, one that's kind of geared for Pro AV, and then one that's the Pro version, which is geared for more sophisticated applications like visualization and planetariums and domes and those kinds of applications. The regular one will be free as a download. It's basically the user interface. So they're kind of basically they had only the pro level version in their projectors before, but there are a number of applications where you don't really need all that. A simple curved or flat blend doesn't need all that sophistication. So they're offering some different price points now to serve those market needs. Second demo they're showing next door is something they've done actually for 4 years now. And this is to show the difference between adding more resolution to a display versus adding more frame rate to a display. So what they're showing this year for the first time, they actually have three identical projectors with wide QXGA resolution blended together in one seamless display. And on two of them, they're running the image at 120 frames, and on one, it's running at 60 frames. And if you stand back a little bit, you don't see a lot of difference in image smearing, for example. But as you get close, you very clearly see the image smear that's happening in the 60-frame part of the display. Now that's a problem, obviously, in your peripheral vision. So pilots who are landing, they don't get good calibration for their speed because everything is blurring as it's going by. But at 120 frames, they've got much better, much less smearing and much better accuracy in judging their speed. So it's clearly getting more attractive for many simulation applications. I asked him if this, since they've been showing it for a few years, how this is becoming adopted in the industry, and it's a slow process. He says maybe about 10% of customers are now opting to go with a 120 frame rate implementation. The reason is cost. You have to add a second channel to be able to run a second input into the projector, which composites these two 60-frame inputs that are basically one frame apart and composites them into a 120-frame image. So it's going to take some time, obviously, because there's cost. And back of me is the third demo that they're showing. This is actually kind of unique and actually a follow-on to a demo that they showed last year. This is based on what they called the egg display. It uses, instead of a spherical or a parabolic screen, it uses an ellipsoidal screen. This is actually part of an ellipse here, and there have 4 projectors illuminating this. And the main benefit of this is much higher contrast ratio. The problem with a lot of simulation screens that have wide field of view is you get cross-contamination from one part of the screen to the other, and the light from one side actually decreases the contrast on the other side. So when you have an ellipsoidal screen like this, you get much better light rejection and less cross-contamination, so you get much higher contrast. They say they actually get about 30-to-1 contrast here, which is phenomenal for a screen like this. Now what they're also showing is actually some unique 360-degree content. So they've got a couple of partners they're working with who've captured 360-degree images that you can put on the display here. And for one of them, for example, is a navigation through a ship. So they put a camera in one room. They capture a 360-degree image. They go to the next room. That's a still image, but you can then navigate from room to room and kind of look all around. Very handy kind of application. So they're kind of experimenting with ways to use a display like this with 360-degree cameras in unique ways. So that's kind of the story from Christie this year at ITSEC. Christian for Display Central.